Good morning. It's the Call Flow Radio Show, and you're on the air.
Yes, the Call Flow Radio Show on a Monday, the 19th, last I checked. And survived the weekend. I see Noah Massarge to my immediate left here, and he's waving. Your mic's on, but
hey,
I can leave.
John, how's it going?
Cut it back off if you want.
No, it's okay.
It's actually on.
Okay. How's it going, John?
I thought we were going to do a mime-type show today or something.
I don't think the listeners would enjoy that.
Oh, come on.
The listeners, the
listeners, yes.
You're going to have to listen to the
All
program.
Two of you out there. Good morning, by the way.
John, how you doing
I'm
today?
all right. How are you?
I'm doing well. I had a long weekend.
Long meaning what exactly?
Time. Like time-wise, it was
you had an extra day that I didn't?
It just felt long, which was nice. Actually...
I need one of those. I don't know what a long weekend's
like. John.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Come on, John.
So what did you do in your long weekend?
My girlfriend was sick. And so
that makes it long. I get that.
I had to play doctor, meaning...
We don't want to talk about that on the air.
Okay, John.
I'm just kidding.
Literally making chicken soup and, getting wet rags when needed. I have a mercury thermometer. I don't know if you guys know what a mercury thermometer is.
Rectal thermometer? What is that?
No, the one that you stick in your mouth. But it's like good. Mercury, it's a glass... You know what I'm talking about, right, John?
I think so. Yeah.
And if you break it,
old school.
It's dangerous if you break it. You can get poisoned and die, possibly.
Yep, the old school thermometer. Yeah,
that's something throughout my childhood. My mom used those thermometers. We had I don't know, maybe 500 of them, just laying around the house. 500 mercury thermometers, but every time I would use one, she would be like, she would always be like, very gentle. She was like, Don't break it on your skin or anywhere. You're going to die. And I was like, okay, Mom, thank you. I'm already feeling terrible enough because I'm sick, but...
Hey, you don't want to bite down on
exactly.
it.
Well, she would get so, worried about it that she would just stick it under my armpit, and she would be like, that's good enough.
That's where I knew technology was going in the right direction in the sense of, I remember having to have those even when you would go see a doctor. Mm-hmm. And now they got that thing where they just sort of put something in your ear for 2 seconds and it's...
Or the thing
whatever.
To scan your forehead.
Or the finger or whatever. The finger or the ear, whatever it is they do. And instantaneous.
Technology is, technology is great, John.
When it works, yes.
Yeah, well, I mean, the leaps
when it takes
and
a day
bounds,
off, it's not so great.
The leaps and bounds technology has given us,
All right.
Oh, well, we have a caller.
We do.
I'm sorry, I kind of went blank there for a second.
Well, you're not used to this sort of thing. It's okay.
No.
It happens on occasion.
Just the flashing light throws me off. It's almost hypnotic. If I'm talking and I see a flashing light, I just stop and I'm like...
Did you want to keep talking or you want to talk to the caller?
Let's talk to the caller. Yeah.
Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning.
All right. Good morning, fellas.
Hey, Henry.
Yeah, you think I'm a jackass, so you feeding me hay.
Oh, man.
Hay is for horses.
Yeah, that's according to a Gallup poll.
Right.
Anyway, would you write down my sister's birthday for the birthday calendar?
Absolutely. I have my pen ready for you, Henry.
Noah's got the pen.
All right. Elsie St. John.
Elsie St. John.
Of Richmond. And she's only 97 today.
97.
Wow.
I told people that I come from a line of long livers. I had a cousin who had a 4-foot liver. He was really, as I said. But really, let me just quickly give you the ages of the 4 of the young'uns that are still living.
All right.
It was 97. Then one is 91, one's 86, one's 81. The ones who have passed on, 95, 94, 86, 92, 82, 79, 79, 77, and 88. Those are my parents and my brothers and sisters.
Some good genes in that family.
Beg pardon?
I just said good genes in that family.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't wear slacks. We just wore jeans.
Or dungarees, what they used to call it.
Yep.
Yeah, dungarees. That's correct. Yep. Well, I plan tomorrow to give a testimony, but I just wanted to get Elsie's birthday on.
Well, we got it on, and that's fine that you called it in.
Yeah, all right. Thank you all. Y'all have a great day.
You too, Henry.
My number, by the way, my number is 434-414-0096. If anybody wants to have prayer or share a story with me, I'd be delighted.
All right.
Like the lightning bug that flew into the window pane. He was delighted. But so, give us a call if you care. Thank you.
Thank you, Henry.
God bless.
Appreciate it, Henry.
Take care.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, Henry Fulcher giving us
Very nice.
Elster's
Elsie.
birthday. Elsie, yep.
Elsie St. John.
Yep.
97.
97.
You know, when Henry was giving off like those ages, when he was like 80, 90, for a second I wanted to be like, is this bingo we're playing? Like, should I get my bingo
There'd
card
be a
out?
letter involved in there somewhere, right? B57.
Yeah, that's right.
Whatever.
L62.
Do you play bingo much?
John, no.
Oh.
You know, I remember. Here's a weird thing.
You and your girl will when you get up in years.
No, I don't
Let's
think
go
we
down to the old firehouse.
the bingo hall.
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
You know, when I was very young, though, very young meaning, you know, youth is relative. I mean, John, some people would consider you very young. You know,
Yeah.
and. Sorry. Okay.
He's cracking himself up.
Look. No, I'm not. But
Was that what are you doing? A chicken? It sounded like you were going cluck, 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 cluck.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. I really don't.
Oh, okay.
You
go right ahead.
I was gonna say when I was like a 7, maybe 8, probably 7 though. Something year old in my youth, I went to a church that played Bible bingo for kids, and honestly, I can't even explain the rules to you because I think they literally just made it up. Like, have you ever heard of this, John? Bible bingo? It's like
it may have been a thing.
It's like
that I barely remember.
Chapter 3 of Mark, something.
That sounds
B
somewhat
verse
familiar.
11:7. Like it's just it's nuts. It's crazy. And like the fact
you
that
brought all the bingo money home.
No.
Oh.
No. I actually did not do that.
Oh, touchy subject.
I'll tell you what though, John. Speaking of making money that young, I used to do card tricks actually when I was when I was like 6. I used to do card tricks up until when I was like embarrassingly old to be doing card tricks, like 12 and 13. I was still doing it. So from 6 to 13, I was doing card tricks. And I would do it at church. I would do it at like events. But I wouldn't just do card tricks. I would actually charge 25 cents per trick. So I'd be like quarter for a card trick, like a 1920s.
Sound like you were running a gambling
like
kind of
literally like a street hustler being like, 25 cents
dealing
card
from
trick,
the bottom
card
type
trick.
stuff. Yeah,
like those guys in New York.
What he
with
calls a card trick,
yeah.
we call gambling.
Yeah, the guys in New York with the cans, and he's like, "Hey, follow the watch," follow the, and they do. That's literally me, but I was doing it with cards. I was
so
like,
had you not
follow
moved
the
down here to
card.
Virginia, that's what you would have been doing in the city.
Well, I mean, I was doing it here in Virginia. I was making lots of money. Let me tell you, John, when I was,
the authorities may be listening.
I think one time, like when I was young, like 9 or so, I made like $12 in one day doing card tricks, and that's because like I got a little ahead of myself. I was like, I'm charging 25 cents when most people have like $1 bills. Why don't I just charge $1 for a card trick? They can't say no to me. I'm 11, and like it was working. I was like making money. Yeah, I'll tell you what though. There was this one older woman who was not happy with me doing card tricks for money at the church. She was
I can only imagine.
She was very offended actually that I.
This would have been his grandmother, by the way.
No. My nonna was like cheering me. She was giving me like some pointers. She was like
pointers?
She was like talk
This
to
is
that.
how you do it, Sonny.
She was like this. She was like, talk to this guy over here. He's watching you. She was like, you can make a couple of bucks from this stooge.
Right.
You should call him Stooge, John.
I wish that.
And so, like, yeah, I mean, like, I was making a lot of money. And I guess I'm telling this story to, you know, you can make your dreams come true. If you want to make money from
By hustling cards, you can make those dreams come true.
in church, by the way, you know, you got to make that clear, too. But did you ever do anything like that, John, where you were like,
hustling at church? No, I never really pulled that off.
hustling at school?
Oh,
Did you
no.
ever hustle money? I mean,
Nah.
I would brag. I mean, I would literally like put the money halfway in my pocket so it's like sticking out a little bit. So people would be like, that guy's loaded. I'd have like 2 $1 bills sticking out both sides of my pockets.
No money-making schemes on my end.
Really? That's unfortunate.
Nah,
You just never, you know.
never gave it much thought.
Never gave it
Of course,
much
I didn't
thought.
have anyone coaching me to do it either.
Well, I didn't have anybody coaching me.
It's
I
not like
just-
you and Nana were doing it.
Well, no.
Here's how you do it,
She
boy.
just had she had pointers.
Pointers?
Yeah, but no, nobody coached me to do
Oh,
card
good.
tricks. That's something I thought of after reading Tom Sawyer, which I don't think cards are even mentioned in that book. But I don't know. I loved his enthusiasm for swindling people. Okay.
That explains a lot.
Okay, John.
All right.
Yeah. Well.
On this day in
of course,
1991,
yes.
Oh,
No.
I got nothing else to add. Attempted coup against Gorbachev. Are you a Gorbachev or Gorbachev?
I'm
kinda
a
guy?
Gorbachev.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, on this day in 1991, Mikhail Gorbachev, that's what you like? Okay. The General Secretary of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union, they had to shorten that name after a while, from 1985 to 1991, and President of the Soviet Union from 90 to 91, was briefly ousted in a coup by communist hardliners.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like that sort of thing is still going on today.
What, communist?
Well,
Or
no,
what?
the whole thing of
coup?
being ousted. Yeah, the coup and being ousted all of a sudden.
I think that happens every time, like in just politics in general.
But big time right now.
Big time right now?
Big time right
With
now.
Trump?
No, your other boy. And
Biden?
the man that was determined to stay in no matter what, and then the very next week was, I was kind of advised to stand down.
Well, that was an interesting thing. Well, I think literally, I don't think Biden would be capable of making, like, breakfast for, like, a week
Yeah, but he's
straight.
been doing it for the last 3 years like that.
Well-
what's the difference?
Well, the thing is, like, in the very beginning, I think he was sort of, like, stable enough to be president. But, like, the longer he's in, the more, like, he is a, he is aging at a rapid pace in, like, legitimately is almost unable to be a president anymore. He's not really fit to be a president. He was
That's
when
not
he
what
started.
we were told by everybody, the press, and all that
Well,
other
I
stuff.
think
it just happened suddenly, all of it, like a magic trick.
I think in 2020 he was, and at that point, as far as I know, he was on performance-enhancing drugs. Which I mean, I think
he
should.
still was.
Well,
Then eventually the stuff stops working. You get immune to it, I guess.
yeah, and so, but like, I don't know. It's interesting, but like, I don't. Is that a thing? I mean, I can't.
I think he was told to step down.
Yeah, but like, is that wrong that he was told to step down?
Yeah, after years upon years of us telling you there was nothing wrong with the man.
4 years.
Or 3.5 or whatever it's been.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that those conditions were already, I don't know, there from when he first ran. Mm-hmm. Are you going to tell me there was no signs of it by any physician whatsoever, if we're going to be honest about it? I don't know. I have a tough time believing things that the news and much less the government tells me anyway. Mm-hmm. But
Would you say you're a cynic or
big time?
big cynic?
Big, huge, gargantuan, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. I'm trying to find anything here worth
Gigantic.
talking about. We've got Adolf Hitler here, 1934.
Might as well.
Some 90% of German voters approved a referendum that made Adolf Hitler the Führer, leader and chancellor.
Yeah. Yeah, that was an interesting rise.
You can't
to
argue with
power.
those numbers. 90%.
Well, I mean, like it's kind of like if it's a rhetoric that. Well, he didn't. And again, I'm not a history buff, so I don't want to say anything out of line. But I want to say he started off with just like general ideas of people being like, "Yeah, we like this," and then that's like when he went off the deep end. He was like, "We're gonna take this up a notch."
Well, and you don't know if people were voting that way because they had to.
You saying it was a rigged?
I don't know, but I don't know about rigged. But let's just say either vote this way or else.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
1883. This is going way back. French fashion designer Coco Chanel. Mm-hmm. Do you know this person?
I actually do know Coco Chanel.
Tell us about Coco Chanel.
I want to say she had something like, wasn't she? I don't want to overstep, but I want to say she had something to do with the Nazi Party, where she was like either for it or something, but she was a fashion designer.
Yes,
well.
That's all I was going to bring up.
Yes, but I want to say that like a little lore about Coco Chanel.
Are you saying the fact that I mentioned Adolf and now we mentioned her, that there's a connection there?
I think there there's. But go ahead, John.
Okay. I was going to say her elegantly casual creations ruled over whatever it says here, Pyrenees, whatever it is, for almost decade. She was born on this day back in 1883 is what I was getting at, like a historic birthday. But you actually know, I've heard the name before, but you actually knew who she was. That's pretty good.
A little bit.
You know some history then.
John, I know, yes, some history.
Well, you said you didn't.
Well, I don't want to overstep on, especially with things like, sensitive in nature. I'll put it that way. And the last thing I would want to do is misrepresent an actual factoid. And so that's why I kind of withdrew my what I was going to say. But yeah. I mean, that's cool, Coco Chanel. I mean, John, you know history too.
Somewhat.
What's your favorite part about history?
The fact we keep repeating it. Democrats open their convention transformed by Harris's ascendance, but facing lingering questions. I heard them say on the news this morning she's got at least a 6-point lead on Trump already. Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean anything, because if you think back in the 2016 election, Hillary was in the lead on polls and just popularity votes. And who was elected, John? I think you all know the answer to this one.
Yeah.
Your boy.
In 2016?
Your home dog.
Yeah.
Trumponian. Trumpster, the Don. Yeah. The Don man.
But I find it amazing that man was a Democrat way longer than he ever was a Republican, and yet they casted him like an old shoe.
Well, the thing is,
he donated to the Clintons and everything.
Well, in politics, politics is a game, and we talk about this from time to time, just at the station, about government. I would say you lean in, again, don't want to misrepresent, but I'm
conservative, so that means I'm against both of them.
Well, yeah.
Because the Republicans aren't really all that conservative.
You lean towards limited government,
very much so.
And kind of
like our forefathers did. Excuse me.
Almost, could I say libertarian? Would that be?
I don't know everything about them, so okay. I wouldn't associate that I'm with them because I don't know everything about what they stand for.
Just very, very limited, very basic government. Fire department, police department, but they don't step in. They're not really enforcing a lot of laws.
Wait a minute, they want limited
government, except for this is a libertarian society, as far as I understand it. And maybe I'm wrong. And if somebody's listening and they want to call in, they can call in. Please call in at 434.
Bring up something else like Gomer Pyle.
394-0199. But as far as I understand it, and as far as I take it, a libertarian's ideal society is almost no government, or at the very least, very, very limited government, being the police department, fire department. They pay for the roads,
armed forces, maybe protection of the country.
But they're not really. They're not stepping in. Well, that would be.
Yeah, I don't think they should be hands on everything. Day-to-day life of the citizens. No.
Yeah.
I think we need a nice kind of, only because for the most part, like we were talking about this morning, wasteful things. And I think money has gotten to the point now, it's sad where our economy is as far as money will never pay out or pay for. We got a debt that's never going to be corrected, and yet we just keep spending and spending like it. Well, you keep printing money. Eventually, the value, well, it already has. I'm talking like it's going to happen. It's already happening. The value of the dollar and everything is just it. We don't have anything to back up the value like we used to, and it's sad, really. But people don't care. They just get their hands out, gimme, and just well. But let's talk about something more cheerful.
John,
than
you don't enjoy this? I thought this was
not really.
Nice. Okay,
this is why I watch movies and listen to songs.
Drink popcorn, eat soda.
You're right.
I know I said that backwards. I did that as a joke.
I figured that's why you did it.
Yeah.
You want to talk about this hunter's graveyard shift grabbing pythons in the Everglades? Nice picture here of a guy with a big old snake.
A python, perhaps?
Well, it's decent sized python, yeah. Let's see. In the dead of night, hunters go deep into the Florida Everglades, searching for the invasive Burmese python. Is that it? Mm-hmm. All right. That are eating up mice, rabbits, and other prey. Now, I don't mind if they eat up the mice.
Yeah, wait, why is that, John?
Because I don't like mice running around the house.
But, like, a mouse has the same right to survive as a...
It can survive outside. I don't want it in the house.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it is. But the python's, like, getting to it. You know, it's finding a way.
Well, python's got to eat.
Yeah, well, python can eat its tail.
Buzzards got to eat, same as worms.
Yeah. Do you ever see a snake eat its tail?
Not lately.
Magnificent, let me tell you, John.
I've seen dogs chase their tail.
Yeah, a lot of animals with tails often do that. Well, except for cats, because I think cats are smart. I think cats are actually smarter than dogs, and I know that's kind of crazy to suggest because, like,
but yet it doesn't have to. But being smart doesn't always win out because if a dog catches the cat is done for.
Yeah. But cats are. I think cats are shapeshifters, meaning like they can. There's like like you watch Tom and Jerry and like how Jerry has that like little tiny hole on the baseboard.
That's always perfectly carved out.
Perfectly carved out. It's like a door, and it's like an entrance for Jerry. It's Jerry's entrance
right
in the house because like the homeowners were like, well, we got to cut a hole in the wall for Jerry the mouse.
Yeah.
In the show, Tom can never go into the hole because he was a cat. He was too big.
Get his arm in there, though.
But I wanted to say, I think that's unrealistic. I think cats can actually fit in that hole.
That would have ruined the story, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, like cats are shifty creatures, shifty animals. And yeah.
Are you referring to Jeff the cat as being shifty?
Well, no, just cats in general. And
but
so
your cat, Jeff.
Yeah, my cat, Jeff, is shifty.
Okay, good.
I'm not denying that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but dogs catch cats. I mean, that's life. But I don't know where we were going with this, to be honest, John. I kind of.
Oh, we can move on. Georgia mayor faces felony charges after investigators say he stashed alcohol in ditch for prisoners.
Well, that's just a nice guy. That's a guy being a guy. That's a guy being a dude. Yeah. Can you say that again? Just.
It says here the mayor of a small Georgia town has been indicted on charges that he likely left a bottle of gin in a ditch for a state prisoner work crew, which I didn't even know those things still exist.
That's really special that the mayor would do that. Like, I'm
at the work crews. I didn't realize work crews still existed.
You didn't?
No, because I used to see them on the because I live close to where the correctional center road is back home. And as a kid, I used to always see them on that road picking up trash or whatever that would happen on that road, cut away, whatever. I don't ever see it anymore. Now, maybe it's because they're doing it while I'm not away at work. Granted, I said this when I was a kid, I would notice these things. So I was home more often back in those days. But let's just put it this way. The trash I see on that road makes me think it's not being done anymore.
Well, rest assured, John, because I literally just saw one not even 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
And that's a cool thing to me.
Was there a bottle of gin in the ditch?
No, I didn't see one, but I always thought like I wouldn't want to have to do that, but like I think it would be a cool experience to be a part of, being like, Just kind of like picking up.
I think it's funny. It's the mayor.
That's
It's
funny.
not the warden. It's not a prison guard, but it's the mayor.
That's really funny. That's just I think that's what a guy does. You know,
Thomas. Mayor Benjamin Benji.
Yeah,
is his nickname. Kerry Cranford was indicted. This would have been Wednesday. Arrested. He was arrested by Georgia Bureau of Investigation agents. He faces felony charges of furnishing prohibited items to inmates and an attempt to commit a felony.
Now, my question is, how did they find out it was him? You know, was it like fingerprints on the bottle? Was this like an episode of Forensic Files where they
I don't know. They grabbed the bottle, and they looked at it,
and there was a picture of the mayor.
Well,
on the bottle.
Or they just went, "Wait a minute, I know who drinks this type of."
Yeah, this is the fancy. This is.
And they looked in his private stock, and boom, there it was.
One was missing.
They probably had Columbo on the case.
Yeah.
But one more thing, your fingerprints were on the bottle.
But like, why? That should that be against the law? I mean.
I don't know.
Leaving like a present for
present.
It's a present. It's a gift, John. It's a gift.
It's good to be the Santa.
You know what I mean though. But like, who?
Not really. No.
Okay, so if I wasn't the mayor, but I did that, like I knew that a road crew was coming out to clean up, and I was like, oh, I'm going to just leave this bottle. Do I get arrested now? Or, I mean, is it they find it, and if they hide it from the guards, they get to keep it? Or if they don't hide it, it gets taken away? I don't know why this is like, we got to find out who left this. Like, why is it a bigger issue?
I just read them. I don't write them. So
okay, John. Okay. Well, I think we got to go into the birthday now.
That's what I was killing time with these wonderful stories.
Thanks, John.
You're welcome. Anytime you want to know about some bottle of gin in a ditch, you know where to come to. All right. Noah's right. We are at the bottom of the hour. This edition of, what do you want to do first? The weather, I guess. Brought to you by the Bank of Charlotte County.
Hello, I'm Stuart Wilborn, manager of the Bank of Charlotte County Loan Office in downtown Farmville. With over 30 years of banking experience, I'm here to help you finance your commercial, agricultural, or personal project. Give us a call at 391-1136 or stop by our downtown office at 216 North Main Street, where you'll find old-school personal assistance with attention to detail. The Bank of Charlotte County, giving you more for your banking needs. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
All right, for today, it's still a 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms, otherwise partly sunny today with a high near 84. Tonight, it's a 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms, a low around 61, mostly sunny. Tuesday, a high near 79. Tuesday night, partly cloudy with a low around 54. Sunny Wednesday, a high near 76, and Wednesday night mostly clear with a low around 52. Right now, we've got ourselves sunny skies, 72. The Bank of Charlotte County with branch locations in Phoenix, Charlotte Courthouse, Brookneal, and their loan office in downtown Farmville. The birthday calendar is brought to you by Terry Atkins Wilson, PC.
The law office of Terry Atkins Wilson, PC is located at 117 North Main Street in downtown Farmville. With deep roots in Farmville and our surrounding communities, Terry and her legal staff specialize in real estate law, wills and trusts, business formations, and collections. Experience and professionalism are extended to every customer in every case. The needs and concerns of every customer are their primary focus. If you have legal needs, contact the law office of Terry Atkins Wilson, PC for a consultation at 434-392-1422.
And with the birthdays for today, I give to you Noah Massage.
Hey, John. Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
It is the 19th, and it is now time for the birthdays. Starting off, we have Pat Payne of Rice, LD Fop of Farmville, Alice Chappell. We also have Sean Johnson Ledger, Monk Neathery, Chase Dalton, Matthew Neathery. I wonder if they're twins.
Could be related.
Christy and Shannon Robertson, and Donna McCann Smith. That's a lot of birthdays. But you know, guys, hope you have a great day. I mean, birthdays are special, John, and I know you don't believe that. We've talked about this before. We had a little conversation.
Did you read the one I hand wrote?
And yes, I did. Alice Chapel.
You went through them so quick, I couldn't keep up.
If you want, I can read them slower.
Well, you got 50 some odd seconds.
Okay, well, don't spoil it. It's a mystery. The music is how long. The music only plays until I'm done, and then it stops magically. No. But to read them again, we have Donna McCann Smith, Christy and Shannon Robertson, Matthew Neathery, Chase Dalton, Monk Neathery, Sean Johnson Ledger.
Not Don, but Sean.
Sean.
Right.
Did I say Don?
No. People may mistake that and think, the Miami Vice guy.
Oh.
Go ahead.
We also have Alice Chapel, which is the name you wrote down.
Yes.
On this paper.
Right, because that was sent to me.
So I'll let you know I read it.
Yeah.
L.D. Fopp of Farmville.
Yeah, go ahead.
Pat Payne of Rice. Pat Payne.
And we got the one Henry.
Yes.
Yes.
L.C. St. John.
You got it. All right. Thank you. Big finish there. For the right legal advice, visit Terry Atkins Wilson, PC, Main Street, Farmville, and tell the fine folks how they can get their birthdays, anniversaries.
They can send them directly to me. My home address is. No, I'm kidding. You can call.
Noah there?
Call in. Call in.
I got some names for Noah.
If you want to call in with the birthday, if you have a birthday in your hand and you're debating whether to give that birthday to us, I suggest you should by calling in at 434-394-0924, or you can email them at birthdays@wflo.net. John, back to you.
You and that mic stand are just going at it today.
I like to move, John. I gotta move.
My arm are getting tired, Nick.
Keep hitting that bag 96 times till it hurts.
Anyway.
Is that what you think? You think I'm just like Rocky over here?
Yeah, I picture you as Rocky.
Music? Yeah. No, thanks, John. That's quite the compliment.
This thing of meat here, if I hit it hard enough. Yeah. When I see you, I think Stallone.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Yeah,
that might be a compliment. You're not taking it that way, though.
I'm not taking it anyway. I think it's just kind of.
So you did the local celebs. Here are the other celebs. Your boy, actor John Stamos, turned 61.
Stamos is 61 today.
You and that Full House loving self you
Stamos. Are. I do love Full House a lot.
You strike me as somebody that would like that show. Here's your fun fact. Nominated for a Daytime Emmy on his work on, you'll never guess.
No.
General Hospital.
Not Full House?
He started on the soaps. General Hospital.
Wow.
If I recall, when he was on that show, this would have been, very early 80s, I believe. So I was a kid. I think his character's name was Blackie. And he wore a leather jacket. He was like the Fonzie of General Hospital or something like that.
Wow, that's so sad. What a low...
Well, he parlayed that into a successful career.
Well, somehow.
Yeah, but he's 61 today, John Stamos.
Amazing.
He was once married to Rebecca Romaine.
Yeah. You know who's 54 today, John?
You tell me.
Matthew Perry.
Not the one that has left us.
Yes, that Matthew Perry, yeah.
Did you notice that story that they have arrested these people that might have been involved with him dying, what he was on, what he was taking, or something like that?
I did hear about that. Well, I heard what he took was a drug that is used in therapy. But
right.
My thing is, when you're taking a drug for therapeutic purposes, maybe, and this is by no means blaming them. I mean, what happened was a tragic thing, but taking things in a bathtub, that's an anesthetic that will make you kind of dissociate and nod off. That is a dangerous decision. But elsewhere, if you're just doing it anywhere else that's not in water, I mean, you're not going to really die from that, I want to say. But yeah, I mean, it was a sad thing. Very unfortunate. But I don't think the doctors are at fault, to be honest.
But those are the ones that have gotten arrested, right?
I think for right now.
Yeah.
I really don't see how that's possible.
Here's another person that got their start in a soap opera. This one I didn't know about. Kyra Sedgwick. Do you know who that is? Kyra Sedgwick is married to Kevin Bacon.
Okay.
And has been for years. She turns 59 today, Kyra Sedgwick. Fun fact, made her TV debut on the soap opera Another World. I did not know that. But I did know. I don't know this. Country singer Leanne Womack turns 58. I know you're a big fan of hers.
I actually do not care for her music, John.
Well, fun fact for you is appeared as a panelist for multiple episodes of Hollywood Squares. Have you ever watched Hollywood Squares?
Is that a game show?
Yep.
I've seen it.
Explain the premise then, please.
Okay, this is my theory of I've seen it. If you watch any game show once, you've seen literally every game show. There's an audience, they're cheering, somebody's asking questions or has a card in their hand. Have I seen that show specifically? No, I have not.
I didn't think so.
Have I seen Match Game 76? Yes, I have.
That is the greatest show on television.
Yes, I've seen that show.
I love Match Game. But only...
John, tell me how much...
But only with Richard Dawson.
How much do you love Match Game?
So much so that I'll record it and watch it because they show it at weird times.
Yeah.
On the Game Show Network.
And what is your favorite part about Match Game?
Watching Richard Dawson.
This is... You know, do you
giving it to Brett? What's her name? I don't like Brett.
I like Brett.
Of course you would.
And I like Richard. I think they're both funny.
I don't. I remember for the longest time looking at Brett and going, "Who is this person?"
Yeah.
I had never heard of her before.
Brett Summers.
Yeah, but I never heard of her.
Yeah.
When I was first watching these old reruns, I was like, "Who is this?"
Yeah.
Why is she on every single episode? Then it became clear she has no career. That's why she's on every episode.
You know what really rubbed me the wrong way about Richard Dawson? And I say the wrong way. I mean,
that he was funny and cool and.
It's when he used to host Family Feud, and then kiss all the women, even though.
You're just mad because it wasn't you.
I know. I'm not. I mean, these women were uncomfortable, John. If you looked at their faces, they were.
Well, if you watch Match Game, the guy from that show was doing the same thing.
Not as bad.
He was kissing on the beauty star they would always have on the panel.
Yeah,
the hot one. If they had a hot girl on the panel, that
yeah. Well, hey, John.
That was a different time.
Hey, John.
Did you ever notice that he had the same microphone that what's his name on Price is Right always had? That long thing. It looked like a TV antenna.
I like those. They're fun.
Yeah, they were cool. They're the only two guys I remember actually having those types of microphones.
Yeah.
He'd hold it down here, but he could hold it that low because it stretched all the way up to his mouth.
We should get you a microphone like that, John.
I can beat you over the head with it. That'll be a good one. I can swat at you when you say things that I don't agree with.
Like everything?
Slightly.
Okay.
No, here we go. Here's another one. All right.
Yeah.
Who is this? Do you know who Erica Christensen is?
Erica Christensen, I think her middle name is like Jane, probably, if I had to guess.
Fun fact, appears as Will's best friend, Angie, on Will Trent. Anyway, she turns 42. I don't know who she is.
Well, we do have a caller.
We do. Good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, is this Tom?
Jerry.
Tom and Jerry in?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, Tom and Jerry, that was a good part. Hey, this is Danny calling. I'm on my way to an eye appointment, but I thought I would ring back. I don't know if during your history session this morning, though I didn't catch it all, you mentioned anything about the 17th. 1947, that's when WFLO first broadcast on the air.
Yes, I thought
it was kind of neat. I know our graphic design artiste put a nice piece on our Facebook page about that. 1947, right after the end of the war, the starting of the station was probably kind of a bold move.
What was the first song they played?
I remember my father coming home we used to tell me about all the times we're coming home from the war, and how it was so different around Farmville, and then things got extremely exciting and moving around. Things were going on. So anyhow, I just thought I would bring that up. One more piece of history. This day, 1962, today, was the founding of the Sailors Creek Battlefield State Park. So I didn't know if people know that. And how do I know all this? Do I study history? No, I've got an old calendar that was done in the 2004 camp celebration, Prince Edward County, so I keep that calendar around.
Oh, I thought you just, Danny, I thought you were just that old, that you, lived... No, I'm kidding. That was a joke.
Hey,
Hey, I remember in 1965 as a little kid when they did the parade, of course, celebrating the 100-year anniversary of the ending of the Civil War, which kind of involved Farmville, Appomattox, High Bridge, St. Louis Creek, all that quite a bit. And I remember that as a kid. They had a big parade downtown. But, boy, that's maybe a little bit of a bygone era. You don't see as many big parades. But anyhow, I thought I'd throw that at you guys for a little bit of history, and I'll let you go. But have a great day.
Of course. Thank you,
Take care,
Appreciate
Danny.
it, Danny. Means a lot.
You were getting ready to call him John, weren't you?
No. What makes you say that?
I don't know. But I want to list a couple of more birthdays, celebrity-wise. These are some lovely ladies from the days of yesteryear. Deborah Paget. Do you know who she is? Appeared in the Ten Commandments. Love Me Tender with Elvis Presley, his first film. They may have made her wear a blonde wig. She's not a true blonde. She is 91 today. That woman was gorgeous in her prime, in her heyday. She was absolutely beautiful. Deborah Paget. Wow. Paget. Yeah. And there's a movie she did where she was wearing, for its time, very seductive outfit. And, she's a gorgeous lady. I mean, and like I said, I think I first noticed her in Love Me Tender, of course, the Elvis film. Sort of played his love interest, if you want to. I mean, he was technically married to her, but she was really in love with his brother and all this other stuff. I don't want to spoil it for you.
Well, you kind of just did.
Diana Muldaur. Yeah. Are you a Star Trek Next Gen kind of guy?
I've seen that show a little bit. But,
so you know who she is, I assume?
I don't.
She was the lady that I want to say replaced Gates McFadden as the doctor for one season, because she was not there in the, I don't know what season she left, second, I think, maybe. And then they replaced her with her. And she appeared on the original Star Trek a couple of times. Diana Muldaur. 86 today. The other one I want to mention, actor Jill St. John. 84. Jill St. John, who is now married to Robert Wagner. That's who he married after Natalie had passed. Jill St. John was in one of the last Sean. Well, technically the last Bond film for Sean Connery, if you don't count Never Say Never Again, since that wasn't done by the Broccoli family and all that, would have been Diamonds Are Forever. She was in that. Tiffany Case was her character's name.
Wowee.
And she rode with me in that Ford Mustang. But anyway, John Deacon of Queen, bassist, 73. Hi, here we go. Another Star Trek: The Next Generation. You know who Jonathan Frakes is, right? Jonathan Frakes.
When I say I watched that show, I mean I've seen like parts of it.
So you never really watched it.
Well, I've seen parts of it, John. I saw it with my eyes.
That's different than being a fan, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Jonathan Frakes was number 2. He played Riker, 72 today. And let's see. Who else that we could mention that you need to hear about? Let's see. I'm looking. I'd say that's pretty good. We hit the main highs and lows, and I know your buddy rapper Romeo, formerly Little Romeo, is 35. After he got past the age of 21, he dropped the little, L-I-L, got older. Do you know who Gerald McRaney is?
No. I don't.
Well, do you remember the show? You wouldn't remember this show. There was a show back in the 80s called Simon and Simon. Do you remember that show at all?
So you asked me, did I know this show? And then you were like, you wouldn't know this show. You said that. And then you were like, well, do you know this show?
This is the show.
Yeah.
There were 2 private eye brothers. Had a private investigation. That was the big thing in the 80s. Everybody had a private eye kind of business.
Yeah. Hey, John.
Yo.
What were their names?
One was called Simon. The other one was called Simon.
Yeah?
Rick and AJ were their first names.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you watched the show?
Oh, yeah. Well, I remember the beginning of it. Like I told you before, when I was a kid, you just saw I would watch the beginning of shows.
So you didn't really watch the show?
That was just over my head. I was a kid. But I remember.
And yet you give me Shinola for not knowing this show.
Unlike you, I didn't say I'm a big fan of Simon & Simon. I didn't come out with that claim.
Did I say I'm a big fan?
I think you did.
When?
It works for the purposes here of our discussion.
Oh, John, you're as worse as the news media. I mean,
I just like this music.
it's great. You have a real good way of flooding me out with other music.
The
and
volume
sounds.
took over on that. I have no control over what the music does.
John, you complain about news media reshaping stories, and yet
which they don't do according to you, right?
Well, no,
because you believe in everything that they tell you.
I think they are capable of doing that, and sometimes
you think they're capable,
and sometimes a hot story sells better. I mean, it just does.
A lie is better than the truth. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't think they're necessarily wrong.
Don't worry, they're running things, so you should be happy and content.
John, the I don't know.
I think so.
Okay,
I know so.
What's that call-in number that people can call?
Right there.
It's 434-394-0924.
Sounds right.
Okay.
I think we've discussed all the birthdays we needed to talk about.
Yeah, I think we did the birthdays.
Gerald McRaney, 77.
Do you want to talk about some more news?
You mean like this tiny South American deer debuts at New York City Zoo? You want to talk about?
I was thinking about like political news, John.
Nah,
we're done with that.
We have to. We got to live it every day. So.
Well, yeah, but if we have to live it every day, might as well discuss it too.
I'd rather be like a deterrent of that sort of thing, and maybe get people's minds off of it.
Okay.
But if you want to talk about the stowaway groundhog.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
You want to talk about a stowaway groundhog?
I actually would love to do that right now.
It's elevated to local icon.
Wow.
According to this story, anyway.
Interesting. Okay.
All right. So it's Pennsylvania groundhog is making a name for himself for something other than predicting an early or late spring. Let's see. It says varmint.
Mm-hmm.
Intrepid varmint, dubbed Colonel Custard.
That's the name of the groundhog.
That's what it says.
Yeah.
So named for the frozen custard shop and mini golf outlet where he was discovered. It was found stowaway with a parcel of stuffed animal prizes. And wait a minute, we read this story, and maybe it was with Chris. He was in one of those arcade things with the arm.
Oh, and he was like an actual animal.
He was actually inside of
Wow.
it. Yeah. I remember this story now. But maybe it was me and Chris when I read it.
I don't remember this story at all.
That's usually what I do when I'm on your side.
Yeah.
And she's got nothing to talk about. I'll look up silly animal
wacky
stories.
Yeah.
And that was one of them.
Okay. All
Colonel
right.
Custard. There we go. So now you feel better. Anything else you want to add with all the time
John,
we've got left?
Yes, John. I mean, I would love to talk about many things with you.
Okay.
John, like...
I'd rather talk about Jeff the Cat, but you go ahead.
Yeah, I know you would. I talked to Jeff, and he actually...
What did Jeff have to say?
Jeff doesn't want to be mentioned on air.
Jeff.
Yeah. John, I feel...
Does he spell Jeff the traditional way?
Jeff, yeah, not the G-O whatever.
O-F-F.
Yeah, yeah. John, look, I feel so rude right now. You won't even believe this.
You forget something?
Yeah, I didn't even ask you how your weekend was.
You did.
Well, how was it?
Or did you? I don't remember.
I didn't.
I thought you did. It was okay. Went by like that. Yours went long, you said.
Well, it was long because I was working, because it was apparently a doctor or something like that. I felt like...
No, if you could be any doctor on any doctor show.
This is a great question. I'm glad you brought this up because I've thought about this extensively.
About what doctor you want to be?
Yeah. So, like, the two that come to mind is, like, obviously Dr. Oz, who somehow has more credibility than Dr. Phil. But I in my mind, I have fond memories watching Dr. Phil. Because this show is old. Like, I don't know. I mean, that show is, like, from the, early 2000s? I was watching that show when I was, like, 5 or 4.
No Marcus Welby, MD type of thing.
Oh, were you talking about, like, that kind of doctor?
Yeah, like TV doctors.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Dr. Oz. Dr. Oz. Would you consider him a TV doctor?
Probably so.
Okay, well, there you go. Well, yeah, I would say Dr. Phil would be my TV doctor.
Or Trapper John or...
What? What's that?
Trapper John, that could be two things. That could be MASH, which would have been the first few seasons.
Yes.
He would have been the other doctor other than Franklin Pierce. But then there was a TV show later on, Trapper John MD.
And that was based off of the show, MASH.
You could kind of call it a spinoff, but in name only, because it was a different actor and it wasn't played up as a comedy. So for some odd reason, they used the name, and it was the same network, CBS, but it was a whole different. Pernell Roberts, I want to say, played that part. So it's one of those weird things in name only kind of spinoff kind of thing. It didn't really. I don't think watching that show you would have gone, oh yeah, I remember that from MASH, where they hark on this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Another wonderful show that I did not watch, I was just aware of as a kid. There's a lot of shows. Did you watch shows adult themed much as a kid? I didn't.
I watched Godfather when I think I've told this on the air before, but when I was like 7, I watched Godfather.
Could you understand what I was saying?
Yes, exactly, John. But as far as a kid, it was weird because in my household, violence was kids could. I watched what is that classic? Oh my goodness. The Jesus movie.
The Passion of Christ?
Yes. Mel Gibson.
Yes.
Mel Gibson's Jesus movie, The Passion of the Christ. I watched that at a very young age. And so I think in my parents' mind, they were like, okay, well, Noah's 5. So he can watch this. Violence isn't that bad, but any other themes, maybe not. But violence, sure. So The Passion of the Christ was definitely one that I've seen, and Godfather at young ages. But as far as TV shows go, I think whatever my parents watched, they let me watch. I was watching, Frasier and Seinfeld and shows like that when I was 8.
Right
around there. I enjoyed Seinfeld when I was very young. I always thought that was a very funny show. When I was 5. I don't know why I'm laughing. It's just it's kind of funny. It's speaking.
Did you get what they were joking about?
When I was
or did you just when George would yell Twix? And,
George was a very fun because I think there's something about you don't even being young, or even if you spoke a different language and you watch Seinfeld, so you didn't even understand what they were saying. There's something about the body language and in the vocal inflections. I think language is more than just words. It's the body language that you're giving, and so there's definitely a level of that you're picking up as a kid, and I think you understand and you pick up. But as far as there was a couple of ones where I was oh, I should probably not be watching this, but nobody's saying no, I don't watch this. So there was definitely a couple of moments like that, most moments like that.
You may not believe this, but I saw a lot of John Wayne and Clint Eastwood movies as a kid.
Nice, now I believe it.
Dirty Harry type stuff.
Yeah, dirty, filthy.
Watched one came on yesterday. That you would think, when you say you like somebody, like an actor, they think you like everything that they've ever done.
I know that feeling. Yep.
And that might not necessarily be true. And in this case would be the movie Hang 'em High, Clint Eastwood. That movie is not one of my particular favorites. How do I put this? It's a Western. It could have been pretty good. But the storyline is
missing,
lacking in some. Well, it doesn't have a true ending. He kind of rides off and still has some guys to go after, and things like that. And I don't know. Well, the premise starts off with him being hung at the beginning of the film, and yet he survives it. Usually, maybe he was just hung improperly, I guess, is what they were kind of going for. But usually, the old neck would snap immediately when someone was hung. But he was hung from a tree. It wasn't like an official hanging where they walk the steps and all that good stuff.
Well, we do have to run now.
Is it time to go finally? I mean, oh, darn. Well, there you go. Another show for the record books.
Yep, me and John here at WFLO AM 870 on the Call Flow Show.
Love you, bye.